everyone, welcome back to Favourites and a model recommends. A model recommends favourites. It's a helicopter circling above, so you know you can move as far away from a city as is almost humanly possible, and you still get the kind of noise that you would get in a city, which is more than a little frustrating. But I have to say that's the first helicopter that's gone over in about 2 weeks, so I suppose I can't be too cross. That's filled in that bit of time waiting for that to go past. So, books and beauty. Now listen, there's more books and beauty. I try and keep my favourites to 5 things now, because otherwise they just ramble on, don't they? And people just find loads of stuff to fill the time. And I don't want to be doing that. So rather than have to find things to be favourites, I have to whittle it down to my top 5. So there are always things that just escape one month, and sometimes, if they're good enough, they go into the following month. And this month I've sort of collected some of the books from the past few months into one video so that I can call it Books and Beauty. All right? It's method to my madness. So 3 books, and they're quite different in their subjects. So the first one is a cookbook. Now, it's actually a kid's cookbook. It's a weaning cookbook. But because I am so bad at finding new recipes for my children, who are 3 and 1.5, I've found it really useful. They've obviously been weaned. They don't need mushes or purees or anything like that. But I was never that great because I was always too stressed and too tired at finding new recipes and exciting things for them to eat. And although quite a lot of these things in this book are things that I might cook versions of for myself anyway, I'd never really considered cooking them for the children. Anyway, the photos are beautiful. Once you've got the ingredients, the way that you use them is really, really simple. Quite often it's just a matter of taking out white flour and replacing it with one of the more nutritious alternatives. And it's just lovely. All the recipes just sound really delicious, and they sound like things that I want for myself, like gentle lentil dal and no roast chicken pot roast, and it's just really appetizing. So all the recipes are for 2 adults and 2 little ones, which is actually also very handy for us because that's what we are as a family. So maybe that's another reason that I'm very much drawn to this, but you can tell by the amount of corners that I've turned down that I've been trying loads of things, and I just think it's brilliant. And you can get it on Amazon. I'm going to link to it below. Beth, who's written it, is lovely. She has an amazing Instagram account called Young Gums with lots of recipe inspirations. So if you are a new mum or indeed old hat at it, but just looking for new recipe inspiration, then that's great. The second book is by David Sedaris, and it's called Calypso. This is his latest. If you've never read any David Sedaris, please do, because he's so funny and he's just amazingly witty, but it's the sort of funny that you can't read it in public because you're just sort of snorting and you just look mad. So I tend just to read them at home when no one can see me. I found out at the beginning of this book that David Sedaris actually now lives in England, which is really dangerous for him because I could possibly turn into a stalker because I love him so much. I'll link to a couple of his books below because I think that you should start with some earlier ones so that you get him and then move on to this one. It's only just come out really in the last few weeks, so check that out. And then the last one, told you this is an eclectic mix, is the Farrow and Ball book, How to Decorate, which I found fascinating. It's all about paint colours and the subtleties in them and how they look in different lights and how to choose certain paints for certain rooms and little things that you would never have thought about, like, you know, painting all your woodwork the same colour and then paints for woodwork that go with paints for walls and undertones and all kinds of things. Basically, if you're trying to decorate and you're stuck, which I am a little bit with some rooms that need to be decorating, like this one, for example, and you're there with those little pissy poster pots of tester paint, Get this book, read it from cover to cover. I did it in an evening, couldn't put it down, and I still can't decide on my paint, but I feel a lot more informed. And it's very enjoyable. And lots of the pictures in there are just like, oh, I want my house to look like that. Anyway, 2 beauty things, because we're capped off at 5, remember, for the favourites. And the first one is skincare. This stuff I've been meaning to talk about for a long, long time. Pretty sure that another version of this must have been in a past video, because this liquid, it's the 2% BHA liquid from Paula's Choice. It's brilliant, it's simple. It's so simple, in fact, that it's very unglamorous. It's just a liquid with loads of salicylic acid in. But it's so good. It's so good for redness. It's good for blackheads. It's good for unclogging. It's good if you've got stubborn acne. It's good if you've got those bumps underneath your skin that threaten to erupt into spots but never do, and they're sore and angsty. Salicylic acid is an exfoliant, but unlike alpha hydroxy acids like glycolic and lactic and all the rest of those, which are surface exfoliants, these really get deep down into the pore. So if you've got oily skin and if you've got sort of clogged pores, it gets in there and it doesn't scoop out, but it just helps to clean those out. And so you're going to get more even toned skin and more radiant skin, even if you don't have spots and you don't have redness. So this one is called the Skin Perfecting Liquid, which is very clever because it's very, very similar to the, I think it's called the Clear Skin, which is also 2% BHA. And they've sort of got similar products with little tweaks, but they're named differently, so they're targeted at different people, and they all work fabulously. But this one has, I suppose, been targeted at the main market that doesn't have, they don't feel like they've got particular skin concerns. However, you could use this if you've got adult acne, if you've got teen acne, if you've got blackheads. It's just a brilliant all-rounder. And the benefit of salicylic acid over or BHA over using the AHAs is that it's quite soothing, and if your skin's feeling very angsty and it reacts badly to acids, it won't with this one. So it's a lot more suitable for sensitive skins. And you know, you can use the AHAs if you've got acne, but I would say give this a go first, because this one's getting right down into those pores and it's a lot more appropriate, I think. So give that a go. You know, if you don't have any particular concerns and you just want instant brightness, then maybe go for an alpha hydroxy acid, go for like a glycolic acid or something like that. But for everyone else, slightly more sensitive, starting out, slightly worried, spotty, might be you want something for that time of the month when your skin just goes haywire, which mine does a week before my period. And this will just last a lifetime. I mean, if you don't sweep it on with cotton wool and just pat it on with your fingertips especially, you'd be hard pressed to use this up, I tell thee. Woo, went off on a bit of a, dropping everything, a bit of a thing there, didn't I? Bobbi Brown Pink Sand lipstick. It's a beauty and I'm in love with it. If you read my blog a lot, you'll remember Soufflé Nude from Dior, which is a slightly paler, more nudish version of this, peachier. It's got a bit more pink in it, but I love it. And I particularly love it with a sort of autumnal smoky eye. And what I do is I apply it and then I blur it out round the edges to make it look really soft and non-Barbie-like. Those are my August favourites. Sliding on in just before it becomes September. So I'm going to try and put these up tonight, which is, God, don't even know what day it is. It's bank holiday on Monday, so I'm all out of kilter. I think it might be Wednesday today. Got my little gilet on, look, my knitted gilet. So I'm going to go and edit this and pop it up and stop wittering on. And please, if you are not subscribed, hit the subscribe button, which is somewhere below the video screen, because then you get my videos straight into your Actually, I don't know what happens. I think they go into your subscription notifications. I have absolutely no clue. I mean, I've been doing YouTube for 8 years and I still don't know what on earth I'm doing, to be quite honest. Right, see you next time. Bye.